Welcome to Mohawk Mountaineers basketball this afternoon. We are at the David Braley Athletic Recreation Center at Mohawk College campus. We have the Mohawk Mountaineers rematching against the Cambrian Golden Shield. I'm Nick Birnie. Alongside me is Sadie Martin. And Sadie, a couple of the key factors for today's game. Mohawk will be missing two main players from yesterday's win in Cujo Afari as well as Kareem Collins.
Yeah, so how will that impact the game? So Kareem Collins yesterday, he contributed 15 points, so that's definitely going to be a loss. And overall, that just drops the roster from 9 players to 7 today. So that can have a huge impact. This is the second game. They just played yesterday, so there might be some fatigue there, and they're definitely going to have to maybe pull off on the pressure, work on some offense, and just conserve some energy. On another side, we heard from the coach of Mohawk that Jeff Hunt, he's a 5th year here, and along with him leading in the OCAA for most rebounds, averaging 12 per game, if they pull off this win today, he will be the athlete at Mohawk that has the most wins in his career. So hopefully they can pull this one off for him then today.
So we can get Jeff his record, and at the same time, we have Christine down on the court to give us a little more info on both teams. So Christine, how's it going?
Hey guys, I talked to Coach Jonker before the game about the team's incredibly high shooting percentage in last night's game. Now they were great at sharing the ball, which made for some better shots. In fact, they hit their all-season high 4 assists in last night's game. Now we hope to see the same today, but there are some problems. We have 4 more injuries for Mohawk, leaving only 7 players dressed to play the game. So hopefully these guys got some rest last night because they are bound to do some running today. Nick, Sadie, back to you.
Thank you, Christine. So we do expect a pretty offensively paced game. I mean, yesterday's game had a lot of points. Unfortunately, it was pretty lopsided and more for the Mountaineers. So, Sadie, do we have a player or two maybe that we should look into, or is it more just realistically we're expecting more of the same today?
I think we're going to be expecting the same, but you know, we had every Mohawk Mountaineer on the board. So Patrick Ivoroni, he was a huge player, 19 points. Ryan Dornick contributed 25 points. So I think those are probably the 2 keys to this game, and we'll see how that carries on. I guess we'll be looking at lineups coming up.
Yeah, so we have the starting lineups next. As we get set for the second game of 2 between Mohawk and Cambrian. Last night's win, 107-63 for the Mountaineers, was a 44-point victory, as we've mentioned. Clearly a one-sided game, and we're kind of expecting the same today. So as we go forward, I think the Mountaineers should get another offensively paced game with everyone kind of getting involved. It's how they like to play. And
even with the women's, we see that, you know, they can use their whole bench to their advantage. A huge thing that stands out in the stats from last night is Mohawk had 57 points off the bench compared to Cambrian's just 9. So that's a huge stat to have, and to have a full team that's healthy and ready to go. Once again, Mohawk's looking at a smaller bench today, so we'll see how that plays factor into their game today.
So for the Mountaineers, their starting 5 will be Jesse Broad, Jeff Hunt, Lamar Barr, O.J. Watson, and I believe the 5th and final starter will be Pat Ivoroni. I may be actually incorrect about that. At the same time, going across the other way, starters for the Golden Shield, we've got number 10, Eric Laverne-Giroux, joining Tristan Ritchie on the court, Thomas Cooper, Mohamed Soare, who was one of their best finishers yesterday, and Morgan Anderson. So, starting lineup set to go. It'll be Cambrian going left to right in the first quarter there in yellow. Mohawk will be going from right to left in their orange. The Mountaineers looking to win for the 3rd straight time and take both in this series. These are must-win games, Sadie.
Yes.
We said it many times yesterday. These are wins that the Mountaineers need to keep that 1st overall position in the West.
They had a little bit of a hiccup and had a couple losses, and they don't want that. They want to keep pushing forward, remain in the 1st place spot, because that gives them the best spot for playoffs.
So we are underway, the tip-off, going the way of the Mountaineers. Dornick, who was on fire shooting yesterday and will be watched pretty closely by these Cambrian players. Brings it forward, and a lot of passing and handing off at the top from Mohawk. Lots of movement. Now Barr driving and hitting as he
made that look way too easy.
Terrific start from Lamar. Cambrian forward. Soiree touching at the top. He's been the guy that got the touches mostly last night and did lead them in scoring with 19 points. Turnover though down low. Mohawk back. Broad into the middle looking for Hunt. And now the ball comes to Lamar Barr. His play up in the middle.
Nice put back to Jeff.
Finished by Hunt. Take another look at the crashing of the boards by Jeff Hunt there.
We were just talking about that. Averaging 12 rebounds per game.
A shot going up and missing on an air ball, but they will say it last touched off of Mohawk, so Cambrian possession. A lot of the Cambrian offense was worked through Mohamed Soiree last night. He took 19 shots to lead the team, also, of course, with the 19 points to lead the team. Spreading it around. Laverne Giroux in the corner. Went up with it and lost the handle. Dornick takes. Running back the other way with speed. Put up a lay and didn't go. Jeff Hunt following with a great offensive board and finish. Cooper, hands off. Anderson. Anderson to Soiree at the top. Soiree trying to work on Hunt on the turn. The clock running. Here's Giroux, has to put it up on the catch and shoot, does not go. Hunt takes it. Dornick feeds ahead for Broad, who sets up Barr, a spot and shoot three that barely touches rim. Watson with a terrific play to win the ball though. Dornick now to Watson, who gets a shot from on the arc, and there's the work from Watson to save it, and he earns the triple. Take another look at that from O.J. Watson, spotting himself up and drilling the open three.
Watson also had a good game last night. He scored 12 points and had 4 assists.
As well as one massive dunk.
Yes, that was definitely included.
Down low to Hunt, and Hunt with another
starting the
quick
game off
score.
well.
So Jeff Hunt on his game early, and things rolling for the Mountaineers in the first few minutes. 2.5 into the first quarter, an 11-0 lead. So Cambrian
holding Cambrian to 0.
Struggling to find the offense. And if we do look back at yesterday's stat line, they scored 24 alone in the first half, 14 and 10. Then they put up 27 in the third quarter and struggled to just 12 in the fourth. So we didn't see a lot of offense from Cambrian yesterday. As we said before, not a very skilled team. And not a lot of consistency either.
So on Mohawk on the other side, they scored 31 in the first, 32 in the second, 24 in the third, and 20 in the fourth quarter. So more consistent play from them, and that's kind of what Mohawk's been giving us today and yesterday.
And I mean,
we haven't seen a lot of hiccups in gameplay.
Brian Jonker's got to be pretty pleased with the game he saw last night, and thus far, a couple minutes into this one, the defense has been on, and the offense has definitely been on the glass, eating up Cambrian in the offensive boards category right now. And as we see and come out of the break, some full court press from the Mountaineers. Trying to keep that pressure up and create those turnovers and mistakes. Ritchie, as they move it quickly. Anderson with a great lay-in, considering he started that play from the back end and made it all the way down to the hoop. Hunt thought about popping the long-range shot, went in a bit, turned it back out. Barr, back out. Hunt stops, pops a three, and hits from the side. He's on fire today. Jeff Hunt feeling it. Here's Soiree. Beat Hunt there, though, and Giroux able for an easy lay-in, a good long-range pass. We'll take another look at that feed. Soiree hitting Giroux on the move. A good turnaround from Cambrian there following the Jeff Hunt three. As you see him dagger in the corner by Hunt. Barr on his way to the rack. Laverne Giroux didn't like the call, but it will be a hack on the arm. So
Barr's is going to the paint hard today.
Lamar,
he's taking a lot of drives,
who we mentioned yesterday, wasn't exactly having the games that he has usually had in the first half of the season most recently. Definitely turned it up a notch, I think, in that second half last night. Maybe carrying it into this afternoon a little more, and maybe this is the kind of game style we need from him, slashing, cutting to the hoop, creates more shots for him. Lamar hitting the first. He's been one of their better free throw shooters this year, and he continues to do so, making both. Cambrian working forward. Cooper finds Anderson. His pass back, tipped, stolen by Gale. Ivaroni ahead. Under immense pressure, finds Hunt in the corner, and Hunt with space decides to pop. It'll go off rim and out, and he won't be able to track it down in time.
You can hear Coach Jonker in our ear. He's really wanting hard defense and pressure. He doesn't even want them getting the ball in bounds.
So the ball coming forward, and Hunt able to beat Giroux to it. A good job by Jeff. Now Patty Ivaroni finding Barr. Barr cutting as Hunt was dumped in the middle. No call, and following up with his own rebound and finish. Giroux. Now Anderson. Seen a lot of Morgan Anderson taking the ball up for a big guy. And oh, there's Soiree down low. And an easy point. We'll have to take another look at how Cambrian breaking down the Mountaineers defense there. Great backdoor pass to Soiree on the baseline. Jerome Gale spots up, tries to knock down a three and cannot for the Mountaineers, as Cambrian has started to cut into this deficit a bit. Here's a pop and three from Anderson, and it does crawl through.
Saying
Morgan
Anderson's
Anderson.
game a lot today.
And he was a very minuscule part of the last game. He didn't have a single shot or point, of course. In last night's action, he didn't actually pick up anything
No, nothing on the
turnover-wise,
stats.
rebound-wise.
He didn't get much playing time,
He
though.
only had the one personal foul.
Yeah, he was
And
only on for 3:18, but definitely has a couple of baskets under his belt now.
And he's played about the first 5 minutes to start this game, so a
A
change
little bit of a change-up.
of lineup. And we'll take another look here at that Anderson triple. It did crawl around, wasn't the smoothest of shots, but Cambrian will take it at this point. There's a
nice
great
play.
inbound pass. As you said, a backdoor feed from Ivaroni to Gale. Anderson again, now taking it forward. Down low, Cooper tried to finish, never hit anything around the basket. Ivaroni back the way, finds Dornick. Dornick. Gale on the swing around. Broad from the corner, his foot was over the line, so it won't be a three, and it does not go. Ivaroni grabs the board, though.
Less than 10 on the
And they
shot
find
clock.
Dornick open for three. Good work by the Mohawk Mountaineers there.
And he was on fire last night, so this is his first three of this game. But yesterday he went 7 for 7 from the three-point line. So he has to be feeling pretty confident about that, and hopefully he can keep that going today.
And Cambrian starting to shoot up the long shots. A pair missing from Anderson and Giroux. Close, but no avail. And unfortunately, Cambrian still sticking to the outside jumper. Broad goes in, thought he could earn a foul, threw it up, does not get the call, and it'll be a turnover of possession. And now we're going to see a warning from the referee between Broad and Anderson for a little extracurricular after. Might have been the mouth work. He probably was just wishing him a very happy holidays and a wonderful Valentine's, but not in the way that we could say it on air. But I'm sure that's what he meant. Soiree on the side, working on Ivaroni. Ivaroni with a great play to force the tip play, knocking the puck, or the puck loose there.
It's been a
Wrong
long
sport.
day.
It's been a long day for him. Knocking the ball loose to the corner. I will say, 23-9. It has not been much of a fantastically played ball game just far by either side, but Mohawk getting the better right now. A loss of possession in the corner again. Watson couldn't out-jump Soiree for the loose ball. And Giroux goes forward for the golden shield, slowly but surely. Finds Ritchie cutting through the middle. Ritchie with a good little flip up. Doesn't go for him, though. Dornick trying to lead him back. Dornick, outside Broad. He's going to spot up and shoot the three. He won't get it. Watson was going for the board. Got bumped out by Cooper. But that allowed Ivaroni to get it. Down to Dornick. Outside,
Nice
Watson.
Shots
Gale.
aren't dropping.
They're still getting chances offensively, and finally took Ivoroni just losing the handle after 3 offensive rebounds, reset that chance 4 different times on that possession, and Mohawk unable to bury a single shot. But it's that kind of work down low on the offensive rebounds that has created this advantage.
Yeah, rebounding is definitely hustle plays.
Soiree. Ooh, a throwaway, but luckily Giroux, first one to come to it. Ritchie taking his time, looking around. Tristan Ritchie with a spin move on Watson to the hole, feeds Cooper, waited, got it back to Ritchie, now out again. Now Suarez going to shoot the long triple and miss. That popped off someone's hand and out, but I think it was thrown away by the Golden Shield there, an unfortunate turnover.
That's one thing Mohawk took advantage of last night is the points off turnovers. So they had 31 points off turnovers compared to Cambrian's 18.
And also, of course, a big factor yesterday, 57-9, the points off the bench, a blowout in points off the bench for the Mountaineers. Soiree.
We see that in both our men's and women's games.
And Cambrian in the men's, not quite the lack of bench that they have in the women's, so a little more embarrassing or unfortunate for their lack of scoring last night. Barr earning himself another pair of free throws by driving into the paint. He's definitely been a more aggressive player from what we saw in the early part of last game. So maybe a little bit of words of wisdom from head coach Brian Jonker prior to today's action. He hits the first. And the second will crawl home for Barr. Lead is up to 16 now for Mohawk at 25-9. Ritchie at center to Soiree. Soiree works on Barr. Soiree faking, driving, lost control of it, got it back under the net. Found Cooper, who was open for a short jumper, and Thomas Cooper buries his first 2 points of the afternoon. Ivoroni to Hunt. Hunt across, picked off by Soiree. He kept it in, and then Jonathan Copps and Ritchie fumble it between them and cannot keep it in bounds. So another turnover by Cambrian, and these little mistakes are what really built up against them last night. So they got to start getting on this, or this could be a much longer afternoon than they should be in for. Watson inbound for the Mountaineers. Watson looking for Gale, lost it. Copps with the run on Barr. Barr with the hand check, and he'll get called on the reach-in foul. He doesn't like it at all. He felt like he had beaten.
I just don't think he was expecting the 2 shots. I don't think he had taken his steps to the basket yet, so I would have thought that was a foul on the ground.
I as well do agree. If you look at the replay, we'll try and get one for you. Might not be able to, but Barr seemed to hand check him while he was actually driving and leaning into him, and had not even put the ball up towards the net. So Brian Jonker,
a little frustrated,
trying to settle Barr down, but probably feels about the same way about that. So the first goes from Copps. And there's the second. So Jonathan Copps hits both from the free throw line, cuts into the deficit. Now Watson, little dump off, Hunt. Corner, Ivoroni feeds Gale, long 3, got it.
That was a nice play to watch.
Take a
Lots
second
of quick
look
passes
at the Gale 3. And back the other way, a huge block, but it will be called goaltending. Watson almost able to steal a lay-in from Ritchie there. So a 13-point lead now. Cambrian still sticking around and keeping their noses in there. Barr working forward, taking it all the way to the hoop himself.
And there's Jeff with another put back.
Barely missed that, and then still Hunt on the rebound to go down. Ball worked by Soiree out to the top to Giroux. Now to Ritchie. Ritchie cutting through. Ritchie left-handed, no good. Watson fumbling with it. Bluebird out hustles him to it. Back pass, dangerous and lost at Barr. Outlets, Ivoroni, three-man run. Barr up top for Gale. No foul call. Ball came down to Barr, who scores easily, and Gale was pretty unhappy. Felt like he was pushed there.
Looked like his legs got taken out from under him.
Bluebird, long three, no good. Lead pass, Hunt rushing, great finish. Didn't look the
He's
most
on his game tonight.
normal, but a terrific up and under finish by Jeff Hunt. And a great feed from Pat Ivoroni right on the spot, one hop. And even better work from our camera team. Hunt hits, and the and one with just 10 seconds to go in the quarter brings it to a 20-point advantage. Last possession with 5 on the clock. And the foul. Ball will be set to the outside with just 2.5 to go. It will be Ivoroni on a hold. So one last shot attempt possibly for the Shield. Inbound, Giroux dribbling, losing it, and he won't get it off in time. It's no good anyways. And the Mountaineers carry a 20-point lead, 35-15 into the second quarter of play. So we'll take a look at the highlights from that first quarter action. And Sadie, what did you see that was anything standing out to you in that first quarter, or pretty much what we expected?
Pretty much what we expected, but I think different people are stepping up. I think we've seen a lot of Lamar Barr today, and Jeff Hunt so far. He's everywhere. He's getting all the rebounds, all the putbacks. He gave us a nice little three-pointer, and he's rebounding on the defensive end as well. So I think he's having a great game. And Lamar Barr, I think we're just seeing a lot of energy from him. He's running the floor, and he's being very aggressive with getting himself right to the net, as we're watching right now. There's one of his drives in.
And a very good start also to mention for the Cambrian College team for Morgan Anderson, number 15, who really, like we mentioned earlier, barely got into last night's ball game, played about 3 minutes, didn't have a point, a shot, didn't do anything pretty much to show up on the stat sheet except for a personal foul, and comes out tonight shooting and playing with quite often most of the possession offensively for Cambrian in his hands. So interesting looks. They've switched it up, maybe trying to change up the outcome of this one. Still, the first quarter not as good for them defensively as last time, giving up more points to the Mohawk Mountaineers. They didn't exactly do any worse scoring-wise, but still able to score.
And the big stat, we just got the stat sheet, but Mohawk is 16 second chance points, and Cambrian has 0. So that's a huge thing. I think a lot of that just goes to Jeff Hunt. He's probably most of those second chance points, all of his rebounding. And on Cambrian's end of things, Mohawk's just out rebounding them, and they're not getting those second chance points.
And also, Jeff Hunt, obviously, like you said, raring to go with Lamar, have been the two main important pieces offensively right now for the Mountaineers in that first quarter play. So as we go into the second quarter, I expect that down-low game to be the real presence they continue to push, because I think Jonker doesn't want to see them stepping up and taking the long shot and getting really, lackadaisical against these Cambrian College
keep the pressure on
defenders. So
Jeff Hunt's already at 14 points in one quarter, so
he's off to
a
hot
good
start
stat.
scoring. So Tristan Ritchie, after the handoff from Giroux, works on Barr. Now to Anderson. As we mentioned, had a pretty terrific first quarter for himself after barely being a part of the last night's loss. Soiree, down low, Ritchie, great find, doesn't finish, tips the ball to himself though. And with a fresh shot clock, finds Anderson, cutting into the middle, who goes up and cannot hit either. Another board come down for by Lamar Barr. Now Dornick forward. Dornick, waiting, turns, Barr. Back, Dornick, went up fake, cuts in and finds Barr down low for the open and easy 2. Back the other way, Soiree, handling, dribbling and losing it for a second. Laverne Giroux kicking it out, and Soiree looking inside for Cooper, never got it there. Broad intercepts for Mohawk.
And Soiree not having as good of a start as he did yesterday. He was kind of one of the main leaders for Cambrian, so hopefully he can get his game back, because that would make a huge difference in Cambrian's game right now.
His offense has not been there thus far in the early going of this one. So a pair of substitutions. Calvin Hamilton will join the game now for the first time, and Jonathan Kopp's back onto the floor. Anderson gets a break, and Soiree. Ball brought forward by Calvin Hamilton. He also, no points in yesterday's game. Or excuse me, actually had 2 points in yesterday's game. Handoff there between Cooper and Giroux. Didn't go on the three from Giroux. Dornick cutting through. Dornick can't get it to go on the rebound. Hunt nearly slammed it back. Ball going forward. Ritchie to the net. Doesn't get it to go either. Now the rebound for Hunt. And they are running the court now. Barr back to Hunt. Hunt down low. Dornick.
Nice.
And he buries. Take another look at that great pass from Hunt to Dornick, finding him down low
Good
outside the
court
paint.
C.
Pretty much the opposite of what they're usually doing. That would usually be Dornick
Yeah.
to the Hunt,
Passing
but
out to
vice
Hunt.
versa there. So Giroux now stepping into a leaning two and hits over the taller Jeff Hunt. Cambrian at 17 points, still trailing by 22 now, 39-17. Dornick fading away from underneath, hits the fall-away jumper. Seems like every time Cambrian has scored, albeit they haven't scored too often, Mohawk has been there to respond immediately. Giroux gets it inside off the turn. Cooper able to hit the short lay-in off glass. Dornick moving forward to Hunt. Hunt looking down low. Barr has it, goes through his fingertips. And yet it is lost by Cambrian out of bounds off the hands of Kopp. So, Mohawk ball. Ivaroni and Gale are going to return to the game. Dornick and Hunt will rest, so Jeff gets a much-needed rest with 6:50 to go the second quarter and a large 22-point advantage for the Mohawk Mountaineers. Kick out, Ivaroni from the corner, no good, in and out, popped out quick.
And like we talked about, Mohawk's working with a smaller bench today as well, so they might start off with this big lead, but we might see that slowly diminish just because of energy levels and having to give key players breaks.
Ivaroni, as you say that, trying to slow down the play a bit. Mohawk not trying to run as much with Cambrian, trying to waste some clock down a bit and use that clock wisely. And there's a drive from Ivaroni, or in the call.
Another cross-court pass.
And there's been a lot of movement and passing on the Mohawk offense, and it has just been fooling Cambrian over the last 2 days. Ivaroni hits the first. She is at the line for the first time in today's ball game. Second pops out. Gale knocked it loose too. Ivaroni went right back up and now gets to take two more. So, take another look at the work there by Gale and Ivaroni to earn another two. Or excuse me, we'll actually go back to the original foul there. A couple plays back on Barr, I believe. But just one of the many fouls that Cambrian has done tonight, and they had an issue with keeping their hands to themselves. They haven't really been staying out of the umbrella in the paint. And therefore, I mean, really, Cambrian has run into the issues due to themselves through turnovers and fouls that they just can't be having. And they probably knew this going in, so if I'm head coach Luke Giroux, I could only be more and more displeased with the more I see it. And it just seems to be building up right now for Cambrian as the lead builds for Mohawk. Giroux cutting to the paint, earns the foul as Broad leapt up with him and could not keep his feet to the ground. So a couple free throws now for Giroux. First pops off, back rim and out. Giroux with 3 assists in that first quarter for Cambrian, so he's been one of the few guys who've been feeding the ball offensively. That will be 1 of 2 from the line, so Giroux up to 3 points now.
And you can just tell the scoring difference looking at the stat sheet between Cambrian and Mohawk. Mohawk's they can put anyone out and know that they're going to be able to score for them. Cambrian, they kind of have their key players, and they're not really performing today.
Watson left wide open by the Cambrian defense, but a miss. Rattray outlet to Soare, and oh my! He took too long to go up with that one. Thought he had an easy lay-in, and O.J. Watson was all over that.
We're going to look at that one again.
Exactly. My goodness, what a defensive play by Watson. And just before we throw that replay up, Mohawk working the ball around the offensive end. It'll be Barr down low, unable to finish, not able to get the second or third, and maybe won't get a fourth. Kops battling with Ivaroni, and finally a foul called. And we'll take one more look at that. There was the outlet. Rattray thought, after he set up Soare, that he was gone, and Watson able to palm it against the backboard and then whip it out. Terrific job by OJ to hustle back there. He almost took away one earlier and was called back on goaltending, so a couple times now.
Yeah. He cleaned it up a little bit.
Fine-tuned the old block there. Rattray on the floor now for Cambrian, going back and forth with Soare, and still back to him again, and now back to Rattray. A running layup doesn't go, it was forced, and Ivaroni can come down with the board and start forward. Pat right through the middle.
He just went end to end. Yeah.
That was a terrific run.
Well, he's so fast. If you can go end to end, the only option that team has is to foul them. So I guess we'll take another look at Ivaroni's layup.
And you said it, what speed? Beating about 3 or 4, and then the 5th yellow shirt down the court. I don't think he missed a single player. So 46-20 advantage, 4:28 left in the first half of play from the David Braley Athletic and Recreation Center on Mohawk College campus. Ball goes in and out for Gale, doesn't fall. And back comes Cambrian. Soare just spots the 3 up and hits like it's nothing. Cambrian needed that. They've been unable to score for more than a few minutes now. Dornick along the side feeds Ivaroni. He thought about it. Cross court, Broad, back out, Gale. Soare with the poke. Hamilton's got it. Hamilton's on the run. Hamilton thought about it, went to Soare when he could have gone up.
He should have gone up.
And that mistake, I think, has cost Cambrian a basket, but Hamilton got it back at another chance. Ball gets popped out off rim. Dornick to the corner, back out, Broad. Gale. And they swing it some more, and Ivaroni can just cut through, and it's like
easy.
Nothing. It's like
one
no
dribble
one was
gets
even
around
there. Them. Walked in on that too, so. Cambrian down, working with the ball around at the top, trying to spread it, use their passing to get some movement going on that Mohawk D.
And Cambrian is doing a good job on their offense, like movement-wise. They're getting the pass around, but they're just not, the shots just aren't dropping. And when they don't drop, they're not getting those rebounds, they're not getting those second chances.
And
so
the second chance points has been the difference, as you've said. So some substitutions. 3, in fact, for Cambrian. Bluebird, Laverne Giroux, and Ritchie all into the game now. Soare remains on the court along with Cooper. Anderson gets a break along with Kops and Hamilton. Bluebird now to Cooper, and now to Giroux. Up ahead, Ritchie. Ritchie to the net, and he earns the foul. Ritchie has been cutting and slashing and just unable to really hit a shot lately, so continuing to put in the effort. And as you said, Cambrian has been hustling and trying to find a way to score, just really getting some unlucky breaks right now.
That's also coming up of the tough defense of Mohawk. You know, we've seen OJ with his block. It's hard to finish a layup when you have that coming at you.
And it's definitely a thought to be remembered for the next time you're coming down the court.
Exactly.
You've seen that
Don't
happen
want to be doing
twice.
that.
Dornick right down the middle, kick out. Ivaroni. They've been getting a lot of wonderful drive and kick out looks. And it's been a lot of driving from Dornick really to set it up. So Ryan, what terrific cut through, and same with Pat. The offense has really been clicking for Mohawk. Gale to the corner. Hunt continues to knock down shots. Another 3 for Jeff.
Puts him up to 17 points, and we're not even done the first half.
Leading all scorers at this point in time in the game, Jeff Hunt. Little give and go. Bluebird takes a dribble, didn't need it, and that shot almost a little too late. Dornick went in strong, could not hit. Ball comes out. Laverne Giroux, forward. Ritchie, inside, and Ivaroni with a terrific steal.
See if he'll beat them end-to-end again today.
And this time Ivaroni a layoff to Broad. Oh, almost took a hit there from the jumping defender. No foul, found Gale. Easy bucket.
It's very fast offense when Mohawk goes down. A couple quick passes and they get their bucket.
And I find maybe that has been the difference, is Cambrian almost taking too long to set up what they want to do.
A little too slow, and lets Mohawk really get into their defense, and they're not, Mohawk's organized. They don't have to scramble or anything because of Cambrian's slower offense.
And Mohawk on the other end, like you said, not giving Cambrian a chance to figure
No,
out who to take. A quick one
Especially
pass
when you have
three.
Ivaroni running end-to-end.
Ball lost there for a second by Soiree, excuse me. Now to inside, Ritchie. Ritchie cutting, thought about it, leaned past Hunt and could not make. Cooper grabbed the board and aired it from underneath, but Bluebird with a terrific steal. Great pass inside. Ritchie then went outside, interestingly, to Soiree. And one thing I've noticed, the Golden Shield not going up enough, I think, with the ball on second chances. Bluebird spots and shoots and hits a short jumper. Broad inbounds to Hunt. We'll have no shot clock now, under 20 to go in the first half. Dornick waiting this clock down. We're under 10 now.
Do you think he's going to take it?
I don't even know if Dornick knows he's going to take it yet. He finds Broad, who found
Ivaroni.
Ivaroni with just a second to go. He cuts and finishes, and that's how you end the half. Terrific drive by Pat, and a 58-27 lead for the Mountaineers. 31-point advantage at the end of 2.
I think we've seen a lot of Patrick Ivaroni and a lot of Jeff Hunt so far this game. Definitely the key players that are standing out. Ivaroni, he just has his feet running like the road runner right now. He's going end-to-end and driving. He's driving by anyone, and that might be a little bit of the fatigue on Cambrian's side of things too. They just can't keep up with his fast feet on that end of things.
We've pretty much seen a pretty even effort across the board from the offense, and like you said, everyone seemed to show us a little something, whether it's O.J. Watson with the defense. We've seen a lot of interesting play from Jerome Gale, who's not usually, in the offense. And speaking of Jerome Gale, Christine Midgley is standing alongside him. So Christine, take it away.
Hey guys, I'm here with number 10, Jerome Gale. You have played back-to-back games. You guys really don't have any subs to give you a break. How's that affecting you on the court?
It's been pretty tough, just missing a couple of our key guys. But we're a good core group, and we're just going to fight through it.
Yeah, perfect. And we can see tension raising in the first half. What kind of challenges are we looking at in the second?
Yeah, they're a very physical team. They're not giving up. We just got to keep applying the pressure on them, and we'll be fine.
Okay, perfect. I like that attitude. All right, guys, back to you.
Thank you, Christine. So, a big 30-plus point lead for the Mountaineers at the end of one half of play. We've seen a lot of offense, a little bit of defense here and there. We'll probably expect more of the same coming in the second quarter. We'll leave you some highlights from the first half. For Sadie Martin, I'm Nick Birnie, and we'll be back after this. Welcome back to Mohawk Mountaineers basketball on M-Link at the David Braley Athletic and Recreation Center. Thus far through the first half, a 58-27 advantage for the Mountaineers, leading by 30-plus points. Nick Birnie alongside me, Sadie Martin, bringing you the second half of action from Mohawk College campus. Basically, our first half, a lot like the game we just saw last night, a lot like the game we saw earlier today with the women's. Pretty much a lot of the same storyline through all these games. Mohawk scoring, Cambridge not being able to score, lots of turnovers from one end. And as we start second half of play with Mohawk in possession, probably expecting much more of the same. And Lamar Barr, driving down low, earns that first foul.
We did see a great first half from Jeff Hunt, though.
And we'll take a quick look at the Lamar Barr issue. He went down and
he's just
took
been
a shot
explosive
there
today.
Good drive from Lamar. And as you said, Jeff Hunt with a terrific first half in terms of scoring.
Yeah, 17 points, and as of right now, he has 7 rebounds, so I'm sure we'll be seeing a double-double from him today.
Barr from the line is able to hit. One of 2 for Barr there, and there's a handoff from Soiree to Giroux. Giroux lost control and stumbled over the ball for a second. Now resets with Cooper, and
A lot of
Cambrian
miscommunications on the offense there.
looking a little lost there, trying to find each other. Definitely some miscommunication indeed. Anderson's shot barely off in time, doesn't go, and we are going to cut a call on Ivoroni for the travel. He walked without the ball there just a split second before he dropped his dribble. So Cambrian in need of a big push if they want to make this really into a game. Trailing by as many as 33 now. Giroux tried to go down low, could not. Pass tip loose. Watson ahead. And the pass off the hands of Dornick and out.
I don't think we see a lot of team chemistry on Cambrian's side of things. Their passes, there's just a lot of miscommunications, a lot of throwaways, or just a rundown of the shot clock, and then they don't get the shot off that they want.
A little bit of confusion really offensively from Cambrian thus far. And Barr now at high speed to Dornick, and a terrific little swap pass back by Ryan.
Yeah, because Ryan, he was already past the basket, so he knew he couldn't be the one to put that one up.
And that's been the difference really all night, has been the extra pass from Mohawk and the lack of passing from Cambrian. Barr is good again from the free throw line. I correct myself, he was 2 of 2 on the first trip in this half, making both, and now has made the first, and has done so again, making both this time.
So he's
Barr
up to 16 points this game.
continuing his good afternoon. Suarez under some pressure at the top from Ivoroni. Hands off to Giroux. Worked on by Dornick. Lost his dribble, but got it off to Ritchie. He goes down low. It's Cooper. Handed it off to Ritchie through the paint. Ritchie turns, realizes he has no one behind him to the basket, but Gale able to get a hand on the ball.
Shot clock's running down.
And that will be a shot clock violation. Cambrian, we saw it in the women's game, had a few of them, and again here, another shot clock violation. They've just had a bit of issues with the communication, like you said, coming from the bench to the people on the court to understand how much time left for that shot to go up.
Yeah, exactly.
Barr working, finds Dornick across, and eventually Watson in the corner can set up and pop an easy 3. Cooper decides to turn and shoot, waited too long, it went in and out. Barr working down the court, realizes he had no one with him, so he turned it back to Dornick. Dornick across to Ivoroni, drives in and kicks out again, and Dornick cutting through, stops and pops from about 15 feet.
And we have a great speed lineup on right now for Mohawk. You know, between Dornick, Barr, and Patrick Ivoroni, we have a very fast lineup on right now.
A lot of speed on the court, like you said, and also a lot of smart defense. And Ivoroni drawing the charge on Soiree there. So Hunt, who's been red hot, will check back in. Joining Hunt will be Jesse Broad. And going to the bench will be Gale and Ivoroni. 40-point advantage now for the Mountaineers. They've continued to stretch the lead. Barr, back corner. Watson, hard foul. Great look on the backdoor feed.
Up.
Take another view. Barr just waiting and watching Watson sneak in from the back. Great pass. And they almost connected for another highlight reel dunk. So instead, Watson in the line where he'll make the first. And now Watson to hit the second, and he leaves the line perfect. Soiree down the other way, handoff again to Giroux. A lot of handing off at the top beyond the arc from Cambrian. They've really used that play on almost every possession down the court. Now Richie off a screen, didn't shoot. Finds Giroux inside, and after getting bodied, still gets the shot off. Did not hit.
That was great
Soiree could not
defense
either.
from Mohawk.
Little handoff, and Dornick makes it look
feeling it.
easy. Long three from Ryan.
He's
Got another
3
look
for 3
there.
for his three-pointers today, so he's just carrying that on. If we count his three-pointers from yesterday, he's 10 for 10 at this point.
He's going to miss playing Cambrian the rest of the year with this kind of three-point shooting. Giroux taking it all the way himself and draws the foul on Watson. Both Watson and Hunt didn't really want to leave their feet to commit said foul, and Watson pretty unhappy about that, but we'll take another look. Good rush from Giroux, and a little bit of a lackadaisical reach in from Watson at the end. He didn't need that. So an and one. And Eric will hit. So Cambrian, still down by 40, have now crossed the 30-point mark at 32.
Good kick out by Lamar.
And there's a good lead pass on the rebound. Soiree in alone will lay it in. Another point for Cambrian.
And those are the fast breaks that we don't see a lot from Cambrian, but we do see a lot from Mohawk.
Pass going down low. Barr tried to go outside to Hunt, read by Richie. And back come the Shield, looking for a third straight score down the court. Giroux's shot no good. Richie got a hand to it. Dornick able to grab the loose ball.
He's just weaving through these players easily.
And what a pass there on the weave by Dornick, and great finish
What a
by
putback.
Watson, as you said, on the putback. Ball brought forward, Giroux finds Soiree. Now here's Richie cutting through. Richie goes to the left hand off glass.
That was a good read.
And Richie finding a way to score. He's been cutting to the net all night.
Around Jeff Hunt, which isn't easy.
No, nothing, not easy at all. Barr to the corner, he has Broad. Broad finds Hunt, who's open. Hunt thought about it. Back to Broad, his fadeaway two doesn't go. Barr inside, gets the board, trying to dribble it out, then thought twice about it, went right back up, couldn't hit. Board grabbed by Cooper. Back come the Shield. Richie in the corner thought about it, led to Giroux. And again, a little bit of a missed opportunity there, but a great run by Giroux, sneaking back through, cutting to the net with some steam. Take another look at that nice move from Laverne Giroux. As soon as he turned around and saw Broad come out and Hunt spread, attacked the rim. And there's Hunt getting the feed from Dornick, and just missing the three there.
Great hustle by OJ though.
And OJ almost rewarded with a three. Hunt though down low grabbed the board. There's a good steal, but on the steal, it came loose to Watson, who finished.
Those are those second and third opportunities we've been talking about. Mohawk's just dominating those boards.
Mohawk just showing they want it more right now, as they have through most of this game. And that ball off the foot will go out and be Cambrian possession deep in Mohawk's end. Watson will now get a much needed rest, as along with Barr, and back into the game are Gale and Ivaroni. Little back and forth handoff. There's a fadeaway from Giroux, too hard on it. Ivaroni with speed, taking it forward. A little handoff to Dornick, thought about shooting, but faked it all the way. It's swung around. Gale had the open look, and Jerome Gale hits. 40-point advantage for Mohawk. Ball goes up off rim and out. Ivaroni finds Broad, finds Gale. Gale from the corner again, and there will be a foul down low. And it's going to be on Cooper with the push. And I don't know if that was exactly Ivaroni. I believe it was Ivaroni who went to the floor, and he'll go for 2.
I think he's been having words with the other team. They're not really digging each other's style of basketball.
There was some words last night between Pat and a couple of the players, so maybe things this afternoon just haven't settled down just yet. Pat's not a big fan of.
He is a fast player, and he's going to take it to the net. If he has, he's run the entire end-to-end, so if there's a couple players in his way, he's going to continue knowing that that's going to draw him the foul, right?
And Pat showing no fear getting to the hole a lot in these last few games. He's been a key player offensively and, of course, as always, defensively for the Mountaineers. Unfortunately, he's unable to hit the first here. So Pat able to hit 1 of 2. Let's see, a substitute. Cooper comes off. Bluebird will come on for Cambrian. Soiree. Oh, Hamilton looked like he carried there for more than a step or two.
Looked like
and eventually gets called on a late travel call after stepping through the paint. So a little bit of a misread there by the referee, but he made up for it in the end. Dornick forward to Hunt. Cross. Ivaroni cutting towards the hoop, but had to drop it back out. Ivaroni working with it, finds Dornick at the top, long range 3, does not go. Hunt unable to tip it, can't grab the board on the second shot.
I think that one just broke Dornick's perfect 3-point record.
And that might be it for Ryan shooting threes now. No,
That's it.
I'm just messing. His streak, though, still quite impressive over the last 2 games against Cambrian.
Yeah, 10 3-pointers.
With his ability from beyond the arc. Dornick all over Laverne Giroux now at the top. Laverne Giroux, though, beat him with the dribble. Hard inside, didn't earn the foul, didn't get it to go. But we still see a lot of pressure from Laverne Giroux now. He's been really taking it to the Mohawk defense. And if there's been one player for the Golden Shield today, like there was yesterday, it's been a switch from Soiree to Giroux.
Yes. Yeah, no, he's definitely been putting it out there and being aggressive. And when one player isn't having their game, someone else has to step up.
And Hamilton had it for just a second before getting it stripped away. Ivaroni back the other way up court. Ivaroni finding Broad across, and Broad unable to hit the long-range shot. Off rim and out. Back comes Soiree. His pass for a wide-open Hamilton, and Hamilton just nowhere close. So Ivaroni inbounds. Watson back to Pat. Carries forward with time. Broad down low. Hunt feeds
nice
Broad
pass
on the give and go. A little too hard going up with it. And a back coming the other way is Cambrian, and Giroux again. We'll have to take another look at that wonderful drive to the hoop from Laverne Giroux.
And he's now sitting with 10 points.
But first, Ivaroni lighting up a 3 and does so to give Mohawk an advantage. And now taking another look at that, just good hustle to the net, and Laverne Giroux's been one of the few Cambrian players able to do that tonight. But as we were going to say, the lead now up to 42 at 82-40 for the Mountaineers after that 3. Gale looking to make it back to back.
Good rebound by Pat.
And Pat feeds Jeff. And Hunt can knock down the short jumper. And
we haven't seen a lot of Jeff in the second half, but I think they were giving him a much-needed break. I think 17 points in the first half is a pretty good start.
And as well, Mohawk a very spread-out offense, so not usually looking to just one. Always looking to get all 5 involved on the offensive end. Ivaroni, double-teamed at center, trying to step through. It does. Gets it to Watson. Now Broad drills the 3 from the corner and runs it up to 87-42 with under a minute to go in the third quarter of play. Laverne Giroux coming back. good
Wow.
rush.
He can't
to the
miss
net.
right now.
And I must admit, Laverne Giroux, surprisingly, carrying the offense. It's been a one-man team right now on the other
16
side.
points he just racked up.
Ivaroni dribbling through. Ivaroni down low, off the hand of Bluebird, then off his own defender and out of bounds. So a substitution coming for both sides, and also a timeout to be taken by Cambrian. Currently the lead is 43 points. They pretty much doubled the total scoring-wise, Mohawk, of Cambrian College. So pretty much at this point we're getting what we expected in this game. And
one player that's really stepped up in this third quarter is OJ Watson. He's just had 3 points in the first half, but now he's up to 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's up to 12 points.
So a good, as you said, Watson has had a great game both ends of the floor with a lot of defense and offense. And just for a little check-in, we're now going to turn to Christine, who's got a little update for us. Oh, excuse me, sorry. We're going to get to Christine in just a second. Have a little mic trouble. So at this point in time with the 43-point lead, Mohawk carrying it with just 14 seconds left, and now we'll go to Christine for a little update.
Ready now.
As you guys can see, Cambrian's coach is not happy at all. We talked to him at the half about the challenge of playing on the road, and in his words, he says it's great because they have the pleasure of losing not once, but twice. He's blaming it all on the officials, though. He's saying they're favoring Mohawk heavily. I mean, he's equally as frustrated as his team. Makes it really hard to get his team back in the game when he is equally as fed up. We'll see what he can pull off in this last quarter, but I don't see it going very well.
Thank you, Christine.
I can see where the coach is coming from.
I
but
can definitely
think,
see where Mr. Giroux has had some issues with the refereeing today. We saw him yelling on those last few drives by Giroux for calls, and Giroux hasn't received a call, unfortunately, but as he has been turning it up a notch, the rest of his teammates really have not. So,
but at the same time, like, both teams are aggressive teams, so I don't think it's been one-sided. I just think the refs, you know, they're not calling as many fouls as they could be in an aggressive game like it has been today.
Definitely a lot more of letting the players play. They've been allowed to bump and grind a bit, and unfortunately, Mohawk has taken advantage of that much more than Cambrian. So 3.7 left on the clock here in the third quarter. Ball to be inbounded right before the end. Kops trying to put up a quick shot for Cambrian, gets it off. It's no good, off back rim and out. So the end of 3 quarters of play, 87-44. We'll turn to the highlights of the third quarter. It's been mainly Mountaineers all throughout this one.
End of things, Giroux, he's had a great second half, or quarter anyways.
Say, Eric Laverne Giroux turning it up a notch has been
racked up 11 points that quarter.
The most impressive really on the team. He did have a good game last night. He wasn't out of the game, but he was a 5 for 15 shooter for 13 points. So today, a lot more driving to the net. I find he hasn't really settled for the long shot, which we saw him do a lot in last night's game.
Which has been working for him. He can really work around the players and avoid the blocks and avoid all the hands, because the fouls haven't been getting called for him, but at least he's making those little shots. So he's now at 16 points. On the other side of things, Mohawk, everyone's scoring. So we have Ivaroni, he's at 13 points now. Dornick, 15. Gale's got 10 points. Jeff Hunt sitting at 21 points now, and I'm sure his rebounds have racked up. I just don't have that updated stats yet. I just got it, so let's have a look. Jeff Hunt sitting at 9 rebounds, so 1 away from a double-double, so I'm sure we'll see that from him tonight. We also have Lamar Barr, 16 points so far this game, and OJ Watson with 12 points.
So, as we get the fourth quarter started in this, pretty much a blowout lead for the Mountaineers at this point in time.
And once again, like, another stat that's just racking up is those second chance points. Mohawk sitting with 30 points off of second chances to Cambrian 0. So that's definitely, you know, where Mohawk's taking advantage of, and they're getting those rebounds, dominating the boards, and putting the shot back up.
So as we start the fourth, Laverne Giroux was the one with the ball, trying to cut to the basket again, and this time unable to finish. Back the other way come the Mountaineers, and working down low into the paint is Jerome Gale with an easy finish under the basket. Laverne Giroux to Rattray. Rattray to Hamilton. Hamilton. Now into the corner, Giroux out back. Bluebird almost swollen as it got to Rattray, who went inside, and Hunt
Rejection.
gets right up on him. So a substitution, it'll be Anderson coming in, and Bluebird will step out here on the side. Giroux sending it back. Hamilton will not get the shot off before the clock expires after the inbound. And again, a lack of communication between the Cambrian bench and its players on the court. Just no
They don't have the chemistry
wherewithal
that you see when you watch Mohawk play. You can see Mohawk really, they work as a team. They read each other's plays. They know what each other wants to do with the basketball. Cambrian could just be that they're a young team. They don't have anyone that's been playing at this college for over 2 years. So that's kind of a big learning curve. You know, we have Jeff Hunt, who's been there 5 years. So that's kind of the solid foundation of that group.
Yeah, so a much fresher team when you look at Cambrian College.
Yeah, still trying to, you know, work out the bugs and see how everyone wants to play.
So definitely a building and learning experience. And even though Giroux won't be happy with the pleasure of 2 big defeats coming here at the hands of the Mountaineers, definitely some points to take and move forward with if you're Cambrian College that were a little bit of positive as well. And the way that Giroux has played today, the way that Soiree played last night, but lots to work on.
Just got to get the pieces to all work together.
And I think that will only take time. Ball brought forward by Mohawk after the miss. Ivoroni just hands off. Gale has a simple open 3 and pops it.
He just went back-to-back threes, so he's feeling that shot.
And we'll take another look at that from Jerome Gale. Mohawk just making it look easy. Ivoroni just right in the chest, and nothing but net from Jerome. Here's a lead pass. Watson fouled hard on the way to the net by Giroux. Gives him a little tap. He knows that was a good hard foul. Take another look at that. Good drive by OJ. Going up strong with the right hand.
And good on OJ for finishing that one.
So we will see a break for Laverne Giroux after his hot period of play offensively for Cambrian. A well-earned rest.
Yeah, but he's definitely dominating Cambrian stats with 18 points. And no other players even in double digits on their end of things.
And there's a pass that just finds itself fumbled out of bounds. Another turnover and mistake from Cambrian College, who trail 101 to 44 right now with quite a bit to play left in the fourth. 7:48 to go. Lots of time, but this one continues to grow farther and farther apart. Broad to Hunt. Hunt to Watson. Watson to Broad. Broad finds Hunt. Hunt is wide open for 3, but unable to hit off rim. Hamilton spinning off. Bringing forward and picked up his dribble. Got it to Richie, who had more time than I think he thought to shoot at first. And eventually finds its way to Anderson in the corner, who does pop an open 3. And as we said earlier, Morgan Anderson, a bit of a few maybe lucky shots. Not sure if that's really his game, but a much more...
It's working for him right now.
Yeah, much more interesting stat line tonight compared to his zeros across the board from last night in just 4 minutes of action. Shot up from Broad, no good, too far. Rebound by Cooper. So Richie comes forward for Cambrian. And it's Anderson stepping on beyond the 3 to hit again. My goodness, Morgan Anderson has just stepped back and dropped 2 straight threes.
Now he's sitting at 11 points.
And quickly has doubled his point total. And he's reached 50 points now for Cambrian.
He's sitting 3 for 5 from the 3-point line.
Definitely.
His game today.
Definitely one of his better games, I imagine.
We don't know what the story was yesterday for him only getting 3 minutes, so maybe he is one of their key players and he just was still out on injury or wasn't feeling too good yesterday.
May have been getting an extra day of rest prior to this. Soiree is their top scorer in league play points per game average-wise, but Anderson has definitely picked up the slack in this afternoon's ball game along with Eric Laverne Giroux. Here is Soiree, who led them last night with 19 points and It's kicked out, and guess who? Anderson from the corner. It was that close. It was in and out.
I just looked up Anderson's stats, so he is only generally averaging 6 points per game, so this is definitely a better game that we're seeing from him.
So definitely an unusually offensive spark plug type night from Morgan Anderson. Not that I believe it'll bring Cambrian back into this ball game, though, as they continue to commit turnovers and foolish mistakes in their own end and struggle on the boards. And now Cooper underneath will get the foul. He was looking for it. Felt like he was getting hacked, I believe, as he was coming out with that rebound.
Yeah, Cambrian's definitely frustrated with the aggressive play. I think it's really put them out of their mental game.
Nguyen, Jordan Nguyen, not touching the floor a lot last night. Played for about a minute towards the end of the game. Now back on again the court. There's Ivoroni tipping it forward to keep it alive, to have
play.
Watson go in, and Watson dunk on the reverse.
He made that look so easy.
And he makes that look like he does it in his sleep. A really good play, of course, as we'll take another look at it, from Ivoroni to tip it up, feed him, and Watson, of course, delivers the rest like the mailman. Ball up, off rim and out, and Hunt can take it down and come out with it. Dornick will start forward from center. And there's Broad spotting up another long-range triple and cannot hit. Soiree on the way back, trying to lead a rush from behind. Ivoroni gave him a little bit of pressure and enough to force a tough shot.
Ivoroni was able to speed up and basically pass him.
Great work by Pat there, coming back on the hustle. And we will see 3 substitutions now, or actually 4 substitutions from Cambrian, as they'll pretty much do a wholesale line change here with about 4:42 to go, fourth quarter. And that means giving Nguyen, Ritchie, Soiree, and Anderson, who's been red hot, a little break. Back into the game, though, Giroux, after getting a small rest himself. Rattray. Inside, Bluebird, out to Rattray. Down low, Hamilton. Hamilton tried to get it up against Hunt, and Hunt all over him.
It's not a matchup you want to be going up against.
Pass to the middle there, and somehow Ivoroni got it and popped it off the foot of Hunt. And unfortunately, Hamilton able to take it the other way. Nice lay-in by Calvin Hamilton for Cambrian on the fast break. Dornick to Gale. And they swing it around, and Broad trying that 3 again, and this time he's got it. Take another look at Jesse from the corner after that great swing around from the Mohawk offense, and it doesn't even look maybe even like sometimes it's, you know, full effort or going full speed, but the passing has been just that good.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very organized game of basketball when you watch the Mohawk men's.
Gale at the top to Dornick. To Hunt. They continue to rotate and create space for each other with
the shot clock's under 10 now, though.
Broad pops a 3, does not catch rim or backboard, and it'll go straight out for a turnover. So the inbound from Cambrian College. Golden Shields coming forward. Giroux will spot up a 3. He does not hit off rim. Hunt now can come forward from Mohawk. Hunt on the run underneath. Watson, great feed.
And that's just that communication, right?
And a great finish from OJ. Laverne Giroux to Hamilton. Inside, it's Bluebird. Quickly kicks it out. Rattray all the way across the other side, and Giroux cuts in. Good attempt over Hunt. Didn't get the finish. Cooper with a good offensive rebound and earns the call. Just 3 minutes to play in the fourth. 108-52 Mohawk with a commanding lead and well on their way to winning both games in this short 2-game set.
So they'll hold their first place spot in OCAA.
So Cooper unable to hit the first. And now Cooper will bury that. So 1 of 2 from the line, and back come Mohawk. Ivoroni able to score. Nice and easy from the short jumper on the right.
He goes
there.
end to end, then pops the ball back out, and Cambrian just doesn't know where to go as a defender.
So ball will get kicked out of bounds. So as we work it out down low, it'll be what seems like a foul eventually is going to be called, and Laverne Giroux is going to go to the line. Trying to work out who is called on. I believe it was called on Jesse Broad there. Or excuse me, no, sorry, that was going to be a call on Cambrian, and therefore would have been on Cooper. So Soiree will come in. They tried to sub out Cooper, which was the issue after he committed the foul, and they will allow it. Off the inbound for Mohawk, Dornick finds Gale, and Gale with an easy finish. 1:12:53 now for the Mountaineers. Here's a send-up by Soiree. Does not quite go. Ivaroni rolling through. Broad across. Gale spots, pops a three, drills it in Bluebird's face. So the lead extended to 1:15:53 now. Blowout for the Mountaineers as we're coming to the end of this one. Under 2 minutes to play. Rattray working it to Hamilton. Hamilton to Soiree, and Soiree down to Rattray. Rattray working. Can't quite get it out back to Soiree. Here comes the fast break, but Pat's going to slow it down considering the time. Dornick takes the handoff, trying to waste this clock down. And they've done a lot of that all night. Smart basketball from Mohawk. There's a shot, though, that goes up from Broad and off the back iron and out. Giroux now comes forward. Bluebird spots up a long three off the front rim and out. Broad let it go, and unfortunately, it will be Cambrian ball. They're going to say it went off Jesse before it got out. Last touch by Mohawk. Giroux to Soiree. He's going to spot up a quick three, and he will hit. So Mohamed Soiree has not been on his game as well as he was in last night's affair this afternoon, but does hit that late three, adding a few points to his total. Under a minute to play now in this one. It's Mohawk sending it around on the outside, and Ivaroni with it. Down to Broad. He'll go up strong, can't come up with it. Does come up with a rebound, and eventually Gale on the third or fourth chance with a putback.
And we've been saying it's been those second and third chances all game.
Rattray the other way will kick it out. Calvin Hamilton will miss the short jumper. Dornick grabs the board. Broad forward. They're going to try and waste out the full shot clock now with just under 30 to go in this one. Mohawk well on their way to another victory. This will be 3 straight since losing their first 2 of the year, and 2 straight in the back-to-back over Cambrian, as that one unfortunately last touch by Mohawk out with 17.6 to go, and Cambrian will have the last possession, I believe, of this one. So Laverne Giroux will walk this one out, and with the time ticking off, Mohawk is winners 117-56 over Cambrian. Another blowout win, tons of offense in this one, not a lot of defense, but again, what we expected. Mohawk handled the business exactly as they needed to in these 2 games. They got the wins they needed to sit still atop the West Division.
And it was a team effort. We had Ivaroni 15 points. Gale, he racked up 21 points. Jesse Broad 6, Jeff Hunt 19, Lamar Barr 16, and O.J. Watson with 18 points. So it was definitely a team effort.
Definitely a team effort in getting the win tonight for the Mountaineers.
And unfortunately, Cambrian, they didn't have the players out that they did yesterday. They could have used, both Soiree and who else was on? Giroux. Giroux had the best game today, but if they would have had a couple of good players out, then we might have seen a little bit of a different game. But Mohawk, you know, you can't come up against 6 players that are
a great
getting
game
over
from Morgan
double
Anderson,
digits.
obviously, as well as the others like Giroux. Not exactly one of their best games, probably Cambrian either, but they showed a little bit
ready
of
with an
something.
interview.
And of course, Christine has Jeff Hunt with us right now down on the sideline, so we're going to toss it to Christine. So, Midgley, go.
Hey guys, I'm here with number 23, Jeff Hunt. What a game for you today. You were absolutely on fire. Where was your head at?
We only had 7 guys dressed for today, so we just wanted to get a quick win today, make sure everybody got their playing time, and get a good rest in for next weekend because we have a big game.
Yeah, well, clearly it worked for you. Pretty fitting way to end today, though, as you make history. With this victory, you have officially won more basketball games than any athlete in Mohawk history. That's got to feel good.
I honestly had no idea about the record until about 5 minutes ago when my coach came up and told me, but it's really nice, and I'll have to talk to a couple people about this after, a couple of my friends from last year on the team.
All right, well, go do your bragging that you need to do. Thanks for talking. Guys, coming back to you.
Thanks, Christine. So Mohawk gets a commanding victory. They get the 2 wins they needed in these past few ball games. And Sadie, I think at the end of this one, pretty much you can't be any happier than getting the wins that you need and kind of improving and getting healthier as well when it comes to the girls' case. So, I mean, overall, really great weekend for the Mountaineers.
And the biggest shout out definitely goes to Jeff Hunt. He had an outstanding game today. 19 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 assists. So we're going to send it out to a highlight package of Jeff Hunt this game.
So for Nick Birnie and Sadie Martin, we say goodbye from Mohawk and all the best. And, well, a little congratulations to Jeff Hunt on his accomplished record.